The Golden State Warriors are back at it again, shocking everyone and leaving us all wondering, how do they do it? With a constantly changing team, old stars, and a crazy NBA, they shouldn't be this good, but they are. Not just good, but scary good. No matter the injuries, the league's wild twists and turns, the Warriors always find a way to dominate. It's like they have a secret formula for success. So, what's the secret to the Warriors' endless success? How do they keep dominating no matter what? It's simple, they're just that good. They've built a team so deep, it's ridiculous. Their bench players could start for other teams. On October 31st, they showed the world just how dominant they are, blowing out the Pelicans 104-89. The first half was close, but in the second half, the Warriors exploded, scoring a crazy 56 points. They're not just surviving, they're thriving. The Warriors are the scariest team in the NBA. It honestly felt like the Warriors were just toying with their food in the first half, keeping things close before they decided to turn up the heat. And when Golden State decides it's time to go off, lights out. They shift gears so seamlessly, it's like flipping a switch. And suddenly, they're on another level, leaving teams in the dust. Once they get rolling, there's no catching them. The Pelicans were totally out of it once the Warriors hit their stride. It's not just their offense that's scary. Yeah, they've got shooters who can light up the scoreboard. But what's really making them a nightmare early this season is their defense. And when you think about defense for the Warriors, there's one guy who stands out, Draymond Green. Draymond Green just pulled off something wild against Zion Williamson. 34 years old and still out here locking down one of the most unstoppable players in the game. Seriously, how often do people trash talk him? Overpaid, overrated, just a role player, they say. It's wild considering the massive impact he has on the Warriors, especially when it counts. In the Warriors' win over the New Orleans Pelicans on October 31st, 2024, Draymond was everywhere. 14 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, doing a bit of everything. Sure, the offensive numbers were nice, but it was his defense that was next level. He shut down Zion Williamson like a pro, limiting him to just 5 of 19 from the field and forcing 4 turnovers. That's a defensive clinic right there, showing why Draymond is still the heart and soul of this Warriors squad. What makes Draymond one of the best defenders ever? It's all about his timing. Just look at that play with Zion charging down the court in transition. Draymond starts off guarding Hawkins, but in a blink, he slides into the paint just in time to face Zion head-on. And boom, he contests and blocks Zion at full speed. No foul, just elite defense. Sure, the refs blew the whistle at first, but after a challenge, it got overturned. Draymond was pulling off that move all night, using his length and strength to shut down plays. That kind of defense? You can't teach it. And then there's the next level stuff, absorbing all that contact from Zion while staying locked in enough to block or alter his shots. Definitely not one Zion usually takes, but thanks to Draymond's relentless rim protection and physicality, Zion was forced into a tough jumper and missed. But guess who was right there to swat it a second time? Yup, Draymond again. And of course he made sure to remind everyone where he stands in the Defensive Player of the Year race after that one. Jonathan Kuminga might not be getting the credit he deserves for the recent wins, but he's been quietly making his mark. When word dropped that Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins would miss games, the whole vibe was, this is JK's moment to shine. Fans expected him to step up and take charge. Well, Steve Kerr had other plans and decided to bench him. It could have been a situation where JK sulked or just didn't show up, but nope, he flipped the script. Instead of letting it get to him, JK went all in. On a back-to-back, he was a defensive wall, moving smart on offense and bringing the kind of energy that Wiggins usually does. He still showed glimpses of that star potential we all know he's got, like this sick moment where he pushes the ball up court, slows down for just a beat before picking it up, and then effortlessly steps around Brandon Ingram for a smooth bucket. In the last 2 games, JK's been in sync with the offense, driving hard and scoring, but doing it all within the flow of the game. And let's not forget, his defense has been locked down. He put up a solid 16 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. Now the key is consistency. If he can keep doing this and punish defenses when they leave him open, he'll be right back in the starting lineup. But even if he's coming off the bench, imagine that unit with him, Buddy Hield and Pods. That's a bench that could wreak some havoc. Let's talk about Kyle Anderson for a second. This guy's been a bit of a roller coaster. In the first game against New Orleans, Slow-Mo went 0 of 8 from the field, and as expected, fans were quick to react. Some were ready to ship him off, saying he shouldn't even be on the court, let alone playing minutes. But hey, let's slow down. While his shooting might have been off that night, Kyle's doing way more than just scoring. Look at his numbers: 10 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. It's those little things he does that make him a keeper. He's always in the passing lanes, using that long frame to mess with shooters on defense, making plays for teammates, and even pulling off a little Draymond Green impersonation on both ends of the floor. Sure, Kyle will have his shooting slumps, but one thing's for sure, he's always making plays. That's what the Warriors need. Now, speaking of guys who can do a little bit of everything, let's talk about Brandon Piscai. This guy is out here pulling off highlight reel stuff. Warriors push the ball up the floor. Buddy's lining up a step-back 3, and there's a crowd of 3 Pelicans players going for the rebound. But guess who's in the right spot at the right time? Brandon Piscai, who tips the ball right out to Buddy for a second chance 3. And you just know Buddy's knocking that down. That's the kind of hustle and playmaking that makes the Warriors dangerous. The Warriors shouldn't be this good, but here we are. And it's honestly pretty insane. They've got the big names, but let's not sleep on the unsung heroes like Brandon Sky. He might not be a superstar yet, but this guy's making all the right plays. Every single game, he's throwing his body around, taking charges, grabbing offensive boards, setting hard screens, and making that extra pass. It's not flashy, but it's what makes the Warriors so deadly. People might laugh at his game, but the plus-minus doesn't lie. He's always on the right side of it because he does the stuff that actually wins games. Sure, he's still working on his jump shot, but if he keeps improving his shot and ball handling, he could easily become a key player on this team. And don't sleep on his stats either. 13 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds. That's a solid night from a guy who doesn't even get all the spotlight. If he keeps this up, the Warriors won't just be scary, they'll be downright unstoppable. They're already good, but with players like Sky stepping up, they're about to get a whole lot better. This allows Golden State to bring in guys like Buddy Hield through free agency. Smart moves all around. But let's not skip over Lindy Waters. The Warriors basically picked him up for pocket change, spending some extra cash to snag a pick they then traded for him. And that decision, straight up genius. Lindy's putting up solid numbers: 3 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. But it's more than that. This dude is a legit 40% shooter, can knock down shots off movement, and doesn't shy away from defense. Plus, he's got good size and can pass. He fits the Dubs style perfectly. Big shout out to Mike Dunleavy Jr. for getting Lindy Waters for practically nothing. That's a win. And that's a wrap on the Warriors' insane show of dominance. From Draymond Green completely shutting down Zion to Kuminga stepping up big time, the Warriors are proving they're the real deal. With guys like Brandon Sky and Lindy Waters doing the dirty work and making big plays, they're looking more dangerous than ever. If you're vibing with the breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. Let's hear your thoughts on the Warriors' rise and who's going to shine next. Don't forget to smash that like button if you're loving the content. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you in the next one.